Most Gamer of the O.C.G, and I'm here playing Silent Hill 2 Remake, which I'm going to do 100% run on the hard mode, on the hard puzzles, hard combat, and I'm going to do New Game Plus because it has more collectibles. And I will be collecting the chainsaw, but I won't be using it because that's not legit. So, but you have to use the chainsaw one time to get a New Game Plus collectible, so that will be the time that I use it. But other than that, I will be using limited ammo and all that shit. But you can just get way more collectibles on New Game Plus on top of all the other collectibles, so it felt to me like it would be overall the more exhaustive run. I'm just waiting for my petite belle to join. Yeah, I'm just trying to get by. Okay, let's do this. What does that mean?
Could you really be in this town?
Okay. Just smack it around a little bit, that's, you know.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday. But you never did. Well, I'm alone there now. In our special place. Waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Could Mary really be here? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
Wonder if he'll say anything different. Well, get it, and then get it for me as well on PlayStation. Shower me in gifts. Pay me tribute. You know what's in it for you. You know. I'll give you a hint. If you already own it, yeah. It's $50 if you don't, but it's...
It's like someone's groping around my skull.
But if you already own it on PS4, then yeah, it's $10. Which is, it's a fucking huge upgrade. Like a massive, massive upgrade.
Excuse me.
No, if you already own it, it's only $10.
Hey, it's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost. for Silent Hill. Is this the right way?
Yeah. It's hard to see with this fog, but there's only the one road. You can't miss it.
Thanks.
But I think you should
Yeah.
stay away.
That's true.
This town, there's something wrong with it. And it's not just the fog either.
Is it dangerous?
Maybe. It's kind of hard to explain, but
I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
No, I believe you. It's just... I guess I don't really care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going either way.
But why?
I'm looking for... someone. Someone very important to me.
Me too. I'm looking for my mama. I mean, my mother. It's been so long since I've seen her. I thought my father and brother were here, but I can't find them either. I'm sorry, it's not your problem.
No, I hope you find them.
Yeah, you too. Did you want anything else?
No, it's just... this fog. Does it seem unsettling to you?
I guess. It's just through the gate and down the path. You'll get there in no time. Good luck finding the one you're looking for.
Yeah, I should probably get going.
I love the atmosphere of this game so much. Yeah, see, this is a New Game Plus collectible. Which is why I decided to play New Game Plus. At first, I didn't want to play a New Game Plus because you get a chainsaw. It makes the game super easy, but I just decided I'm just not going to use the chainsaw because I want to do it legit. Well, I will be using the chainsaw once. There's actually a special item you can get for New Game Plus that you have to use a chainsaw to get. Because at that point in time, you don't have a melee weapon. Which is why you can't get it in the base game, actually. But other than the one time I have to use a chainsaw, I won't be using it. Because the chainsaw will pretty much kill anything in like one hit. It's meant to basically trivialize the game. Which is why the last couple times I tried playing this, I didn't play it in New Game Plus. But the thing is, on New Game Plus, you can collect a lot more collectibles. Like, there's a bunch of shit that's not in the game on the standard. So, overall, I would be collecting a lot more. So, I was trying to go for 100% completion anyway, so I decided to go for New Game Plus, because I'd be able to complete more, and have overall more, and I just won't use the chainsaw. So other than, you know, like shit like this. Well, you know, do what you gotta do. Smack him around a little bit. Gotta keep him in line. Spoil the rod. Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Hello? Anyone in here?
Give him the good old pimp hand. Don't you ever raise your motherfucking voice to me! See, at this point in the game, you wouldn't have any melee weapons. You couldn't break open that window. But you can use this to get the Key of Sorrow, which is a New Game Plus collectible. So that's like the one major time you're going to see me using the chainsaw. After this, I'll just progress like normal, get the wooden thing and fucking use that.
What is this? More of that stuff.
I did think I was a little bit dumb. It's like, what is this? Dude, it's clearly blood. Like, anyone can tell you, that's blood, bro. Are you fucking high? I mean, I do love James, so it's not like I don't like James, but it's like, dude. Gonzalez, Mexican restaurant. We got a burrito for you.
Hey, wait. What happened to this town? Hello?
Oh, yeah. I was trying to try to get everything. God damn, please give me for doing my sons so I can deal with them. God damn, please give me for doing them.
Stay back. Whatever it is, it's not human.
Sorry about that.
Where are you, Harry? Is that?
Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. And if you would like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be amazing because it costs you nothing. It makes my day. Okay, so that's these two books were not in the game originally. They're in New Game Plus only. And now I wonder what other notes are in the game that I didn't get because I didn't get those when I did first to New Game Plus. Thought you were gonna sneak up on me, didn't you, motherfucker? There's nothing really in here, but it's just more of a for completion's sake. Ah, you bastard. Fuck you. Hold on, somebody's tagging someone on Discord. I try not to ignore people when they reach out to me. And just see what's gonna say. Hold on. Cafe Texan. Fucking anxiety. And if you can, try to hit him in the back. You do way more damage if you hit him in the back. Big J's. Surprise, motherfucker! Yeah, you can come out both ways. I forgot about that. There's a back door. Oh, you have to ask politely before you go in Sony's back door. You just come in Sony's back door and announce. Come back here, you little bitch. Yeah, like see, in the original game, in the standard game, the pet center is here, but it's completely blocked off. In New Game Plus, you can enter it. Ah, that fucker got back up. And then you smash this window here, and you can get the alien jewel, which you'll have to use in specific parts in the game. For the alien ending. Yeah, there's like a total joke alien ending and a dog ending. Hey, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. Okay. Hold on a second, trying to see everything you said. Everything you said. No, I haven't. I don't think they do, though, but I could be mistaken. Who knows, honestly. Groovy music. Oh, yeah. Ah, you bitch. Okay. And like I said, I legitimately love this game like so much. It's legitimately hard to imagine like if for people that love games, for them to not horror games, for them to not love this. And the great thing about Silent Hill 2 is that it's kind of self-contained. You don't need to play any of the Silent Hill games to get into it. Which you can't say about every other game in the series. Like Silent Hill 3 is a direct sequel to Silent Hill 1 and relies heavily on knowledge from 1. Silent Hill 2 is pretty much standalone. So, I mean, there's tons of references, of course. It's still in the same world. But, like, you don't have to have played any of the other games to understand what the fuck's going on here. So I would imagine with the success of this game, which this game did great, it sold 1 million copies in 3 days, which for a game that didn't have a huge marketing budget and was from a series that had been dormant for 12 years, selling 1 million copies in 3 days is really good. So, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of people whose first introduction to Silent Hill will be this game. One. Although that kind of fucks them a little bit because the other Silent Hill games are incredibly hard to get legitimately. They become fucking scalpers. Wet dream. Like, I'm not kidding you. If you wanted to get a complete copy of Silent Hill 3, you're looking at like $200. Okay? And they're like all of the main Silent Hill games that people want are like roughly that price. Okay? In order to get like legitimately get all of the copies of the game, like all the main games of the series, you have to drop like $1,000. And obviously, like most people are not willing to do that. And that's if they have the old systems. A lot of those people who are new gamers are not going to have a fucking PS1 and PS2 lying around. I mean, I do. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be a bunch of people who start playing this game, you know, get introduced to the series and like, man, I want to play the rest. And then they look up the prices for the rest and I'm like, fuck! You know what I mean? Which is why I hope that they, remaster the other ones. They don't even have to remake all of them. Just make them all available on modern platforms, you know what I mean? And in fact, it kind of mystifies me why Sony hasn't done that for Silent Hill 2 and 3, just in general. The original Silent Hill 2, I mean, not the remake. Because the original Silent Hill 2 is a PS2 game. Because Sony actually has started bringing the PS2 classics back to PS4 and PS5. You know, like back in 2016, they started bringing PS2 classics to PS4, and then they stopped. They didn't put a whole lot of effort into it, which really disappointed me, because the ones they brought were good and they had trophies, but there was only like a small number of them. And then finally, like last year, they started bringing them back again, and so we've got a lot of PS2 classics now on PS4 and PS5, and they're usually really affordable, between $10 to $15. So it's like a cheap, easy way to get them, and they have trophies. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen, they've advertised. So, Silent Hill 2 and 3, the original Silent Hill 2 and 3, could easily be emulated, just like any of the other PS2 classics, because that's what they're doing when Sony brings PS2 classics to PS4 and PS5, Mary, they're not making a new native version, they're using emulation, essentially, okay? And then, like, you know, doing some debugging, some light testing to make sure everything works, because you can run into problems with emulation, adding trophies, making sure they work, but it's still very minimal effort. They're basically just emulating it, which they've had good PS2 emulators for decades now, or like 15 years, let's say, and it's not very computationally expensive. So what I'm saying is doing a PS2 emulation on PS5 is very low effort. It doesn't take that much time. You just have to basically get it running and then double check it to make sure there's no bugs, and you're good to go. It's a very small, like, effort in comparison to any other type of game project you could do. And most of these games already have good emulation solutions anyway, so most of the work has already kind of been done for Sony by the community. And like I said, they could easily emulate them and bring them to PS4 and PS5 and sell them for a tiny price, you know? And see, that's what people don't seem to understand, is scalping and high game prices don't just fuck over gamers. They fuck over game developers, okay? Cause let's say a game has become super rare, like Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3, the original Silent Hill 2. They're like $200 a pop, okay? On eBay and all that. Do you think that the original developer is seeing a penny of that? No, it's not. It's going straight from the hands of one person on eBay to another, one person on Amazon to another. Okay, so it's not like the original game developer is profiting from the scalping, so they're enabling it. They're not seeing a dime from that either. So if they made a lot of these classic games available on modern hardware, it's a win-win for both. One, it would make it so that people would have a readily available way to get the game that wouldn't require them to shell out exorbitant prices. And two, it would allow the developers to make a profit, even if it's only a small profit on a game that's 10, 15 years old that they wouldn't see any money from. And they've actually shown that a lot of the classics can be pretty lucrative. Especially because, like I said, they're very low effort. They're very low effort. So they don't spend a lot of money anyway, so they don't really need a whole lot of sales to be profitable. And they've shown that several big titles have done incredibly well. Like, you know, they recently came out with the whole PS Plus, what I call it, you know, extra premium, you know, that whole shit. And they found that when they brought Sly Cooper to the service, you know, which many people really love Sly Cooper. I did. I grew up playing it. It's a classic, you know, PS2 platformer. but they found that it was one of the best games on the service, like over games like Call of Duty, other like major games, Sly Cooper. Yeah, exactly. So they spent minimal effort porting Sly Cooper over, and then it became one of the best-selling games on the site. So they made a lot of money off Sly Cooper for little effort, and there's lots of games that can do that. And yeah, and it's also a win-win for everybody, because if you're a fan of the game, it's a way for you to play it again at a cheap price. You know, like nostalgia, like you said, or you might just like the game. And if you're a new fan of the game, or if you're a newcomer, having it be readily available opens the doors for new people to play it, because let's face it, okay? You're not going to buy an old system, or an older system, and track down an old copy of a game if you're not a fan of the game series, okay? So the only people who are going to buy an old system and buy an old game are people like me, collectors. The vast majority of gamers aren't collectors, and the vast majority of newcomers to gaming aren't going to do that. I mean, do you think a bunch of the Gen Alpha gamers are going to be sitting there trying to track down a PS1? No. And I mean, that's not even on them, because like when we're kids, we basically play the systems we can get. You know what I mean? So they're just playing the modern systems because that's what's readily available. So like a lot of kids, I'm sure, would love these games if they were available on modern hardware. But they're not, so it creates a barrier. So when you make the game available on modern platforms, it doesn't just make it easier for fans to get into it, it opens the doors for newcomers to get into it, and then you have a whole new generation of people playing your shit. It's just a win-win. And it can also... Yeah, exactly. If you track it down, you gotta hope that the person took care of it. You gotta hope that it works properly. You gotta hope that it didn't break down. You gotta wait for the shipping. You know, you gotta look through the cut. Like, there's so much things, whereas if it's just modern available, you can just fucking buy it on the PlayStation Store. No fuss, no muss. Bam, done. That's what I'm saying, like, without having to wait for all the bullshit. And you know it's gonna work. It's a win-win for everybody. That's what, you know? And, like, Sony, they're making a step in the right direction because they started, you know, doing it. And before they weren't doing it at all. Like, they're doing PS2 and PS1 games again, where they stopped doing it for years. Like, I think literally, like, 5 or 6 years, they didn't do it. So they are making a step in the right direction, because now they're at least bringing some, but it's only a choice amount, like a very tiny amount each month, and a lot of the time the selection's like games that nobody gives a shit. Like, half the fucking PS1 and PS2 games are Disney licensed movie games. Like, nobody cares! Like, if you ask somebody, hey, what's a PS1 or a PS2 classic that you'd like to see brought back? Nobody's gonna say a fucking Disney movie game. Like, I remember, like, I'm always looking forward to the classic collection, because they usually bring 1 to 4 classic games a month. And so I'm always interested in that, so I'm always keeping a lookout. And one month, they, one month, one of the games they brought, one of only like 2 games they brought, okay, was Disney Pixar's Up, the movie game. And I remember, I literally said to myself, and I said to my friends, who the fuck wanted Disney's Pixar's Up, the movie game, to come to the service? Who was sitting there thinking that? No one. Fucking no one. Show me one person that if you would ask them what PS2 games and PS1 and PS2 classics do you want coming to the service, would have said a fucking Disney Pixar movie game, which are generally considered like the bottom of the barrel. You know as I do that like 99.9% of all movie games suck ass. So it's like, who asked for these fucking games? And I understand, okay, some games that people want, they can't come to because they have rights, you know? There's rights issues. Sony could want to bring them, and they could reach out to the rights holder, and they'll say no, or maybe they lost the rights because the game's old, and people can lose track of who bought what. You know, it happens a lot. Or, yeah, there are a few exceptions where movie games are good. Like X-Men Origins Wolverine was a fucking amazing game that was based on the movie. A lot of people think it's better than the movie. I like the movie, so I don't agree. But I love the game as well. It was a fantastic Wolverine game made by people that actually liked Wolverine. And among others. You could say that a lot of the Lego games are technically movie games, and the Traveler's Tales Lego games are usually really good. But, you know, so, you know, there's issues with the rights sometimes. Some of the games that people want can't come to, okay? But I know there's a lot of games, for example, that could come to the service that Sony owns the rights to. Like, they own the rights, okay? So there's nothing stopping them, okay? For example, all of the Ratchet & Clank games, okay? There's like 5 PS2 Ratchet & Clank games. They're among Sony's most popular system, or series. Okay, the series is continuing to this day. People love Ratchet & Clank, okay? Ratchet & Clank 1, 2, 3, 4, and Size Matters are all on fucking PS2. They could easily emulate them and bring them to modern hardware. The God of War games. That's like Sony's... Kratos has literally become Sony's fucking mascot. Okay? Yeah, Ratchet & Clank. Do you say Ratchet & Clank's one of your favorites? I love Ratchet & Clank. I own literally every game in the series, except for the mobile game that went out of thing, but I don't count that. And Secret Agent Clank, but I own all the main games, I guess I could say. But is that what you're talking to? Ratchet & Clank? Yeah, I have Ratchet & Clank 1, Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, Deadlocked, Size Matters, Tools of Destruction, Quest for Booty, A Crack in Time, Into the Nexus, the remake, and Rift Apart, so like all the major ones. So they own the rights to all those Ratchet & Clank games. Sony owns them 100%. So there is literally nothing stopping them from bringing them. Why have they not brought any of those? Everybody loves Ratchet & Clank. It's not like some obscure fucking series, you know what I'm saying? Like, they would easily make money. God of War. Kratos has literally become Sony's fucking mascot. So many people love the God of War games. They're considered classics that changed gaming, and almost all of the God of War games are not playable on modern hardware. God of War 1, 2, Ghost of Sparta, Chains of Olympus, Ascension. 5 of the 6 classic games you can't play on modern hardware. They could easily bring those to modern hardware, and people would pay out the ass for them. So many people still love fucking God of War. I know I do. I've platinumed almost every single God of War game ever. And I beat the first God of War on God difficulty, the hardest difficulty. Let me tell you, that game is fucking brutal on hard. I mean, on the hardest difficulty, it is a nightmare. Sly Cooper. They brought Sly Cooper 1, and that's cool. But Sly Cooper 2 and 3, rest of the trilogy, where are those? Once again, Sony owns Sly Cooper. Everybody loves Sly Cooper. Sly Cooper 1, I told you, was one of the best-selling games on PS Plus. So you'd think they would hurry up and get Sly Cooper 2 and 3 out if 1 did so well, but it's been months and we're still not got Sly 2 and 3. You know what I'm saying? So, like, there's so many. You know, Silent Hill, for example. Okay, let me give you a little backstory. Silent Hill 2 and 3, back in the day, were on PS2. And then they got HD collection. You know, back when the first wave of HD collections came out, like, you know, God of War HD, Sly Cooper HD. But Konami was in the middle of their heel arc. and they royally fucked up the Silent Hill HD collection. It is considered to be one of the worst remasters of all time ever made, because it actually is much worse than the original version of the game. It's a remaster that doesn't remaster anything and makes the game much worse. Hey, look at my shit so I can do them. I could literally give you an entire fucking, like, hour-long diatribe about all the ways they fucked up the HD collection. I won't, because it's long to explain, but they really fucked it up, okay? And basically, the reason why it was fucked up is pretty simple. I'll give you the gist. They lost the source files for the original games. People back in the day didn't think about remasters, so a lot of the old game files they didn't hold on to. They didn't hold on to the game builds, you know? And so they went to remaster the game, and a lot of them find, oh, we lost the files. Okay, now there's a proper way you can do that. You can find a copy of the game and extract the data off the disk. There's a specific term for that. It's slow, it's time-consuming, it takes money, but you can basically take all of the data off a retail disk of the game and recompile it into a working version of the game and get the source code back through that. Okay? Now, several remasters like Kingdom Hearts did that. Like, they went to remaster the classic Kingdom Hearts games and found they lost the source code, so they slowly extracted and rebuilt it, and it was fine. You'd never tell the difference because they took the time. Konami didn't want to take the time to do that, so all they had on hand was a beta, an alpha build of the game. Which, as you know, alpha builds are notoriously unfinished. It's like literally the game is playable, but it's wildly unfinished. So they literally used the alpha build for the HD collection, so it was way worse, way buggier and unfinished than the actual original games. It's like going down in history as one of the worst fucking HD collections ever. But they no longer need to do that, and they could easily circumvent that, okay? Because, like I said, when they do a PS2 Classic on PS3, or I'm sorry, PS4 and PS5, they're emulating it, okay? So all they have to do is emulate Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3, the original versions, problem solved. You would have a modern version of the game on modern hardware that wouldn't be expensive, and because they're emulating the original version and not the fucked up version, it would sidestep all of the issues of the HD collection that was fucked up. Win-win. And like I said, Sony, if they were smart, would do that now, because there's going to be a bunch of people who have never played Silent Hill before that are introduced with this game. They're then playing in, they're like, oh, I want to play the rest, and there's no affordable way for them to buy it. Where if they bought the classic games of the series, people would be like, oh, I'm going to buy the rest of the series now they got into it with the remake, and they would make money. And it would help stomp out fucking scalpers. You know, and it also just helps preserve games, pretty much. You know what I mean? It helps keep games alive. By keeping them available on modern hardware, they're preventing them from dying. Where some of these games, if they're not preserved, will be fucking lost. And we're now getting to the point where games are old enough that they will start being lost forever if they're not preserved. So, like, all these game companies are like, oh my god, people emulating it are stealing. Which, that's a shitty argument because, like I said, they're not making any money off of it anyway. If they were emulating these games and selling them for a profit, that would be stealing from Sony or whoever made the game. They're emulating the games for free, and the games are so old, the developers aren't making money anyway. So it's like, people will go back and forth about emulation, okay, and say, is it ethical? Is it right? Is it this? I have a very simple opinion on it. Very clear-cut, very concise opinion on emulation, okay? If it's a super old game that you can't buy legitimately, where even if you bought it for hundreds of dollars, some exorbitant price, then none of the money would go to the developers, it would just go to some neckbeard scalping it in his mom's basement, then sure, emulate it. Okay? If it's a modern game that you can easily buy, that buying will support the developers and you emulate it, then you're stealing. Okay? But it's like there's all these games out there that are super old that would take hundreds to thousands of dollars to get. Legitimately, and even if you spent that exorbitant amount of money, which so few of us can spend on a single game, you're not even paying the developers. You're paying a fucking scalper. So it's not like, well, I'm going to pay the money because I want to support the developers. You're not even supporting the people who made the game. So if it's an old game and there's no legit way to buy it, emulate it to your heart's content. If it's a new game and you could support the devs, then you should buy it. That's pretty much how I feel about emulation. Clear cut. So pretty much all these older games, even if you did buy them, would not profit the developer. So you emulating it is not taking from their bottom line. It's you refusing to pay fucking $1,000 for an old game. Like I said, Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Ruby, Pokemon Sapphire. There's collectively, okay, just so you know, Mary, Pokemon Ruby, Pokemon Sapphire, Pokemon Emerald, they are the most common Game Boy Advance games of all time. Maybe the most common portable games of all time ever. Okay? There is somewhere in the realm of 30 to 50 million copies of the games lying around. Because all three together sold about 50 million copies. Okay? So in other words, they're extremely common. Getting just a copy of Pokemon Emerald these days... Hold on 1 second. Getting just a copy of Pokemon Emerald these days, without the fucking box, will run you $200. So you're telling me that the most common Game Boy game ever, one of the most common games ever, a game that has 50 million fucking copies lying around, that you could throw a rock and hit one of them, costs $200, just a cartridge. It's a problem. It's a really bad problem. Making sure we got everything. Okay, I'm pretty sure I got everything here and get, so I can continue and finish the sequence. And like I said, even if you ponied up the cash, you're not supporting the developer. You're supporting some guy who's taking a game and inflating the price. Fuck that. And that's what's crazy, is that these game companies don't want you to emulate the game because that's stealing. But then they refuse to make them available on modern platforms. When I told you it's super easy to do. Bringing a PS2 game or a PS1 game to PS4 and PS5 takes virtually no fucking effort. So they could be making a profit off these games. They don't want to. That's what's fucking crazy. So it just baffles me because they don't want people to play the games for free, but they're not willing to make a way for them to buy it legitimately. Well, I don't want you to play this game for free, but I also don't want to sell it to you. And like this is really important. Like I said, these game systems, even if you manage, to find them, they're gonna break down. These game systems will only last a finite amount of time. These games need to be preserved and maintained. Otherwise, we're literally losing pieces of history, like losing books or fucking movies. And games are now getting to the point where they're old enough for that to really happen.
We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us staring at the water.
And like I said, I love gaming. I genuinely love gaming with my whole heart. I don't want to see that happen. And all these people that are emulating these games are creating digital copies that will be preserved, essentially forever. So, like, these companies are attacking these people, and they're honestly doing them a fucking favor.
Hello? Is anyone there? These clothes.
God damn it, fucking shit. And I knew that was coming, it still got me, man. Goddamn, please give me for doing my fucking SS. Goddamn, please give me for doing some sort of deals. Goddamn, please give me for doing some new them. Goddamn, please give me for doing new.
Hey! Wait! Damn it. What's a kid doing here?
Yeah, I know you're there. Okay.
Quite the artist.
Hold on, let me make sure I get everything. Stomp on your balls! Fuck you! Yeah, the first time you can see Pyramid Head is right here. Super fucking creepy. And he doesn't do anything. Just sits there ominously. Oh yeah, how's it going, Philippe? Good to see you, man. Oh shit, wrong way. $13. $13.7. Oh, 13.7.11, okay. Just making sure I get everything. Yeah, I gotta go back up. I can come down here later. Oh shit! Well, it surprised me, but at least she didn't actually hurt me. I dodged out of the way. Came in clutch! God damn it. Such a good waste of soda. Might be the only fucking drinkable shit in the town that's not contaminated because it's sealed. Goddamn, please give me this. Goddamn, please give me. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't drink the fucking tap water here. Save again, then if I die, I don't lose progress. So honestly, if you're fucking looking to drink something or eat something, man, some sealed's probably your only fucking bet.
Who's there?
It wasn't me. I didn't do it. I didn't do it, I swear.
Hey, are you okay?
I didn't do anything. He was like that when I got here.
He? Oh, you mean the man back there? In the kitchen?
I didn't do it. I swear I didn't kill him.
It's all right. I'm not saying that you did. Look, my name is James. James Sunderland.
Oh, Eddie.
Eddie, okay. So, do you live here, Eddie?
No. I'm not even from this town. It's just...
Something brought you here.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say that. Well, they came at me. I didn't know what to do, so I ran. I came here. Figured it might be safe, but then I found the guy in the fridge.
Easy, deep breaths. Look, this place, it's not safe. These things, this whole town. There's something wrong with it. It might be best if you just get out of here.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, you want to come with? Maybe together we can find a way out of this town.
Oh, sorry, but I can't leave. Not yet. I need to find someone.
Oh.
Eddie, be careful.
Yeah, you too.
Eddie, are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, I guess.
Now, there's so many people in this corridor right here. That's the best bet. And they're gonna aggro you no matter what when you get the fucking coin. So just grab the coin and fucking bolt. And then... you're going to want to run far up, because they will chase you Into the lobby. I found that out the hard way. But if you get far enough away, they'll leave you alone. Yep, all 3 coins. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, God. I've already solved this puzzle before, but I forget the exact thing. I'm just going to look it up because it's fucking bother me. And man, the fucking lighting is just so pretty. In the scene, I love the scene where we first really see Pyramid Head. He's fucking sitting in a closet, you see him with the fucking gun, man. Scared expression on his face and fucking lights from the blinds covering his face. Great. That new music in here, dude. Now see the other world. Fucking suicide bomber. God damn it. Oh, Rapid Kiernan. Just wait. Wait till you're about to go to sleep, you know? You're snug as a bug in a rug in your bed, and you're chilling out to go to sleep, and then BAM! I fucking jump scare you. Ah. And I'm gonna be sitting there. You're gonna be pissing your pants. And I'm gonna laugh and say, "Yeah, it's not so funny now, is it, motherfucker?" Okay. I'll be right And I will be right back. I just have to take my medicine, and then I gotta walk the dog. I walk her every night.